financial assistance is not only about the humanitarian cash assistance that we tend to think this is financial assistance. That's a key knowledge, and I think this is a key message that needs to be very well taken by different humanitarian actors and cash practitioners or financial assistance practitioners. And there is a layer of complementarity that needs to be accounted for, because this is how we maximize the impact of all of the interventions together.
I think there are two major challenges for financial assistance as we move forward. The first one is around data protection and the emancipation of data ownership of recipients of aid themselves. How are we going to deal with that? What are the risks associated with working with bigger digital platforms, and what are the risks for beneficiaries themselves? The second challenge that I see is around our capacity to understand the real impact of the scale of cash that we're delivering in these responses across multiple actors for larger economies and social networks.
As we are seeing things now, the unthinkable becomes possible. So I would not give, very precise instructions on we should invest in here or there, but just remain very reactive and observing the changes.
First, we need to start mainstreaming preparedness, specifically mainstreaming cash preparedness. Once we've got that institutionalized across the sector, we can start to explore preemptive programming. We can look at how we work with insurance companies and other types of private sector institutions for preemptive disaster response.
Humanitarian actors should start looking at combining cash assistance with other services to form a full package of assistance that might really fill the gap or the basic needs of the vulnerable populations. Additionally, maybe we should start also looking on monitoring the overall impact of a humanitarian intervention, rather than looking on the impact of specific projects or looking at the impact of projects separately.
Governments will play a greater and greater role, mainly in the provision of social transfers, and that's absolutely something that should be welcomed. And we've already seen a great trend towards that over the last few years. In some cases, that may mean that there's coverage of a vast range of needs across different population groups. In other contexts, it may mean that there are specific groups that are excluded, and that there's issues of access to those groups for other actors, like traditional humanitarian actors. And so really working out how we collaborate together, what the value add of those traditional humanitarian actors can be in some of these more restricted contexts, I think that will be a great challenge going forwards.